going to keep staring at each other, or are you going to invite me in?
Oh yes, forgive me. Do come in.
Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Blake. Sophia Blake. Mr. McPherson, I have an offer to make. Interesting for you, vital for me.
I don't think you quite understand. Now, all I want to do is paint, and nothing else.
Your talents as a private dick brought me here.
I don't want to upset you, Miss Blake, but I can't help you. Being a detective no longer holds any interest for me.
I understand. Especially after your last New York case. Suspected of murder, weren't you? I was offering you the chance to redeem yourself. Never mind. If you'd like to meet me...
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the Elysee, 1528? I want to speak to Sophia Blake.
Right away, sir. Sophia Blake, who's speaking?
Miss Blake, this is Gus McPherson. Can we meet? I'd like to clarify a few points with you.
Meet me in an hour at the restaurant Chez Alexandre. We can talk there.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Can I do anything for you, sir?
A table has been booked under the name of Blake, Sophia Blake. I'm here to meet up with the lady. My name is Gus McPherson.
This way, please, sir. Miss Blake is waiting for you.
I knew you wouldn't be able to resist for very long, Mr. McPherson. So are you ready to listen to my offer?
You mentioned an interesting offer. Could you elaborate?
I need you to shed light on a case that is dear to my heart.
Could you give me any more details about the case? So far, it all seems rather cloudy.
I don't know where to start. It was a brutal murder, Mr. McPherson. But for what reason? Here in Paris. My sister. It's my sister Ruby who was murdered. She and her husband Regis were killed. Please find out what really happened.
Are the police on the case? It may complicate matters if they are. Do you know the name of the inspector who's leading the inquiry?
The officer in charge of the investigation is named Lebrun. But the police are the same in every country, Mr. McPherson. Whether it's New York or Paris, they're hardly fast. That Inspector Lebrun is no exception to the rule.
I don't understand. We've never met before. I've never worked for you, neither here nor in New York. Yet here you are asking me to track down your sister's murderer. Why me, Miss Blake?
Your reputation preceded you, Mr. McPherson. I have friends who know people at the Pinkerton Agency in New York. You worked there as a detective, and had a few problems. The suspicion surrounding you in that murder case proved to be unfounded, of course.
Your sister and her husband were both American. What were they doing in Paris?
I was supposed to meet them in Paris. You know, Mr. McPherson, visiting Europe was my sister Ruby's childhood dream. When she met Mr. White, Regis, her husband, he made that dream come true. They were so very much in love.
How did they die? Are you certain they were murdered? Maybe they were victims of some terrible accident.
The Whites were found decapitated in their hotel room, Mr. McPherson.
The murder was committed in Paris. Do you know exactly where in Paris?
A hotel in the heart of a chic part of Paris, in the 8th district, the Hotel Orphée. They had been there for a week. They were found dead in their room.
I don't wish to appear self-interested, but can we settle my fee immediately?
This is the first time I've hired a detective. The case may take you a few days. I'll give you 500 straight away and 500 per day of fruitful investigation.
That is a very reasonable offer. I accept.
Money is not enough to thank you, Mr. McPherson. The service you are doing is invaluable. Thank you.
To be perfectly honest, I'm reluctant to take on this case. Primarily because a murder means a murderer. This Inspector Lebrun is better placed to arrest a killer.
Mr. McPherson, if I'm asking you for your help, it's because I have no faith in the police. And that would be so even if I had the entire Quai des Orfèvres at my disposal. The 8th District Police Station, Lebrun especially, is trying to hush up the case so as not to tarnish the good reputation of their area. You understand.
I think I have all the necessary information to begin. You want me to start right away? Is there anything you have forgotten?
The police did not find any items of value in the room. Yet my sister and her husband traveled surrounded by luxury and family heirlooms. It was an obsession.
Traveling with a lot of money is a risky business. It would be a pity if their murder was put down to theft. Are these family heirlooms valuable?
Ruby's good luck charm. A sort of bust in my family for generations, on my grandmother's side. My sister was always her favorite.
I hope to get results fairly quickly. I'll be in touch with you as soon as my investigations yield any new information. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
Gee, these suitcases are heavy.
And do not forget, young man, the elevator is still out of order.
Oh, brother.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Gus McPherson. I'm a detective, a private investigator. I'm working on an investigation, a private investigation. The death of the Whites.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
I thought you were the manager of this establishment. I'm sorry if I made a mistake.
You are speaking to him. I am the manager. But I have no wish to answer your questions, sir.
So you will not discuss it? Do you have any reason to feel guilty?
Sir, we have nothing to be ashamed of. What happened in that room last night is not about to happen again.
You seem rather defensive. Maybe there was some kind of security failure? Am I right?
That is enough. You wanted a demonstration of the effectiveness of our security. Well, I am personally responsible for security, and my first act will be to throw you out. Leave, sir.
What can I get you, sir?
My name is McPherson. I'm a private detective.
You really are a private eye, just like in the movies? You've even got the hat, and you're American too. Huh. Private Dick.
Do the police have a suspect?
I told them what I knew. I definitely saw someone by the window all evening. That is my testimony. They can do what they like with it.
Can you tell me any more?
You know I would like to help you, but I think you had better deal directly with the police. A man named Lebrun is leading the inquiry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Give me a bottle of red.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. Elwa, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. Ah, a little bottle of red. Come on, next. Can I help you?
My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a private eye, private detective. I wanted to ask you if you'd be willing to answer a few questions and help me in my investigation on the Orphée murders.
A private dick. I see. Well, you'd better show me your license.
A license? I didn't know detectives needed a license. Where can I get one of those?
I will let it pass. This time. Private detective. You must be working for someone. Who hired you?
It's just that my client pays me very well to keep silent. She's very fond of her privacy.
It's going to be hard to help you in these conditions. What if you were a little joker? Huh? The Orphée case is not in your league.
Just a helping hand so I can launch my investigation in the right direction. That way we will not get our lines crossed. I don't want to impede your work in any way.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road. Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty?
Great! The private eye returns.
Am I right in thinking Inspector Lebrun is in charge of the investigation on the White case? Would it be possible to meet with him? That way we can compare our information.
He is not seeing anybody, just make a statement.
All right. Could you at least give him my name? McPherson, Gus McPherson, and tell him I need to see him as soon as possible.
You have a picture of the suspect? That is all Lebrun needs to go on.
When I read the file, I noticed the name of a certain doctor, Frank Koffner. What can you tell me about him?
Dr. Koffner is our expert. Forensic scientist and above all, psychiatrist. The sort of guy who prefers the company of madmen and corpses to the likes of you and me.
You don't seem to be overly fond of Dr. Koffner. Is there any particular reason for that?
The chief of police himself imposed Dr. Koffner on us. It's not going to help matters any.
I've read the police report, but I'm sure you can tell me a little more. What are your impressions on the White case?
This case is pretty messy. A foul murder, unclear motive. If Inspector Lebrun needs a hand, he will ask me. For the time being, he is managing on his own like a big boy. That is all I know.
Of course, if Inspector Lebrun is surrounded by guardian angels like you, he can't be making much headway with his investigations.
If he's not making headway in his investigation, it's his own fault. Lebrun is bending over backwards trying to find the mysterious visitor the Whites had that evening, just before the murder. He's not even cross-checking the statements.
Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.
Dr. Koffner's office, please.
It's over there, right at the end of the hall. Make sure you don't get lost.
Come in.
Dr. Frank Koffner?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm Gustav McPherson. I've come here to ask you a few questions about the White case.
Tell me what you want to hear. So you are investigating the incident at the Hotel Horfé?
Yes, Doctor. Your professional opinion on the murders.
Did Inspector Lebrun send you, Mr. MacPherson?
I'm a private eye.
A private detective? Then someone is showing an interest in the White's murder.
A person who wishes to remain anonymous is paying me to investigate.
We all have a reputation to protect.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, Dr. Koffner. That's why I would like to clarify this situation by gathering as much information as possible.
I am at your disposal, Mr. MacPherson. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about the scene of the crime? The police have released very few details.
The man who committed this murder, and I stress the fact that he is a man, is probably quite overwhelmed at the present time. This crime was committed under the influence of a sudden impulse, without premeditation. His act is now haunting him. He is not himself.
And you think the motive for the murder was theft?
That is what the police say. But does the official version reflect Inspector Lebrun's true opinion? This murder could be the first in a long series of crimes.
Might the murderer regret his actions and turn himself in?
Beyond the conscious, Mr. MacPherson, lies the unconscious. We all too often ignore the monsters that lurk there.
You are implying that the murderer is a victim too, Dr. Koffner.
We are all victims of the secrets of our soul, Mr. MacPherson. This criminal is no exception. We are all victims of our past. And do you have a suspect, Mr. MacPherson?
I'm on the same trail as the police, only I am surer of my hunch.
It has been a most pleasant conversation, but unfortunately, I cannot afford you more time, Mr. MacPherson. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Sir?
The police have a suspect. I saw the inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window?
That is certainly true. He was here on the night of the murder.
Until what time did the man stay?
Now let's see if I can remember. He arrived at around 8 p.m., took a seat by the window, and dashed off just before the storm broke, at around 11 p.m.
Did you see what direction he went when he left?
I don't know. You cannot see outside from in here. You'd better check at the Orphée. Petit, the receptionist, will probably know. He was on duty that night.
And he stayed there alone for the whole evening?
Now let me think. I saw him chatting for a while with Mallet.
Who is this Mallet?
Théo Mallet. Works at the Orphée. He's a lout.
Why is he a lowlife?
He likes to bet, and when you do, you have to pay your gambling debts. It's a vicious circle. Mallet is a bona fide con man.
Did you notice whether Mallet gave any money to this man?
No. It's the man who gave the money to Mallet. I remember, it was cash.
Did you see this man with the whites?
I have never seen the whites, under any circumstances. There's no way I would have noticed them with that man.
So these two men may have no connection to the whites' murder.
Sorry, but this is your investigation, not mine. I can only tell you the facts, nothing more.
Could you give me a description of this mysterious character?
You could draw him? That's really neat. I'll give you a description right now. He was tall, Very tall. Heavy. Black moustache. Square-faced. And dreadful eyes. Threatening, even. A tough guy.
And do you know where I might find this Malay?
Malay hangs out at the Alambic, a bistro in the 14th district. That is where he gambles away his wages.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Can you identify this man?
Yes, maybe. Yes, that's him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ah, it is you again.
Thanks to you, I've been able to draw up a portrait of a potential suspect. It's not perfect, but I think that with this, we are onto something. Now all we have to do is show it to the police.
That crafty devil with the mustache. Then he is the culprit.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Petit. I never said this man was guilty. I don't even know his name.
With those killer's eyes, there can be no mistake. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
That's a rather large suitcase. Big enough to slip into. I'm sure the front desk clerk will not like to see me going upstairs alone. Must find a ruse or persuade him to come up with me. And me who found the studio tiny. Hoping that his break did not...
Here we go again.
And make sure you do not drop it, young man.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Petit. Oh. This is really heavy. Talk about starting a new job on the wrong foot. Ow. Ow. Just one more step. Oh. And there we go. Whew.
It's a good thing I didn't have the Atlantic to cross. Of course the door is locked. And the front desk clerk is hardly likely to open it for me. I must find a way to get in. Mrs. Loiseau?
Ah, it's the detective. Welcome to my home, Inquisitor. You are the detective, are you not?
Who told you I was a detective, madame?
I am a seer. I simply see things others do not.
A clairvoyant? Really? What luck. So am I.
I can feel the suffering radiating from you.
Have you been the victim of visions, madam? Rather like me? Visions of murder? The White's murder.
Young man, your instinct spoke to you. You are an artist, are you not?
I'm also an artist. Perhaps you'd like to buy one of my paintings.
Take this. They say Napoleon brought it back from his Egyptian campaign. It represents thought, the Egyptian god of arcane knowledge. The ibis of the Nile. It will help you on your quest. I shall be there to help you find the right path.
I will remember what you said. Who knows? One day I may even need your clairvoyance.
Well, should you have need of guidance, do not hesitate. Come back and see me.
Ah, it is you again.
How is Mrs. Loiseau involved in this case? I really don't understand. Is she a witness? Is she a suspect? Can she be trusted?
Madame Loiseau may be a little eccentric, but she is our best client. She has been living in the Hotel Orphée for many years now.
Mrs. Loiseau would not be a bit, how shall I put it, nutty? Not many people would dare claim that they can sense evil. In any case, I certainly would not.
Nonsense and superstition. Any evil presence here is definitely human. People can be gruesome. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
Hey, cutie. We've not seen you in ages.
Berenice, what a surprise. Look, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Do you know a certain Théo Mallet?
No. But surely the owner does. You're lucky he's in right now. Your owner knows everyone you know.
You're as charming as ever. Thank you, Berenice.
Call me baby like everybody else. Right, I've got to run too, cutie. You know, work. See you soon, okay?
Yes, anyway, you know my address. Come up and see me sometime. Ciao.
Ciao!
Come on, let's see that hot hand of yours.
Queen and her 3 sisters.
Oh no, are you doing it on purpose or what? 3 of a kind. You beat my 3 aces. Right, I've had it. I'm off.
Hulot, you're not going now, are you? Not when I was about to relieve you of your car?
Don't start, Mallet. Do not think that you can get away with things just because you have settled your bar tab. Why, it is Macpherson. Hey, Macpherson, come over here.
Macpherson? Who is that?
Another American in Paris, who is broke. Let me introduce you. Macpherson, let me introduce Théo Mallet.
Hi.
Right, I will leave you two. I have work to do.
Hi.
I get the feeling I've seen you before somewhere. Have you ever been to New York? Oh, no, Mac. I'm so absent-minded sometimes. The jacket. The Orphée. You're a doorman at the Orphée.
If you are interested in the suit, I will give you a good deal. As far as I'm concerned, it is ancient history.
You didn't like your job anymore. Yet the Orphée is a prestigious hotel.
You are very nosy. Do you want my old job or something?
Maybe the hotel did not pay you enough. Or maybe you found other sources of income.
I'm the sole heir of some old fart or other. I'm taking the first train back to Brittany.
You must admit, It's most uncommon to come into an inheritance right in the middle of the Nantes Cafe on the night of a murder.
I don't see what I could tell you.
I have something to show you. Do you recognize this man? That's all very well, but how am I going to find that man now? He'll never come back to the Alembic.
I knew the Yanks were strange, but to talk to yourself out loud, and in French to boot?
Some are stranger than others.
See you soon.
McPherson? Here again? You've got back your taste for life?
Look, I have a small problem. There's this lock I've mislaid the key to. Would you know of a way I could open it without damaging anything?
That and a few sticks of dynamite should set you up for that bank job, right? Seriously, Mac, why would I be carrying all that stuff? Do I look like a hardware store?
Oh, you know, there's no mischief involved. It's just for a friend who needs a helping hand.
Illegal or not, I am not the one doing it, so... Okay, Mac, I will help you. But in exchange, I want you to do me a small favor. A little job. Do not worry, it is nothing risky. I know you are good at this kind of thing. This painting is a reproduction, and here is the real thing. Do you notice any differences?
This time, Hulot, I think Mallet really has done something shady. Has he been back since that night?
McPherson, you are wasting your time with Mallet. He has not been in the Alembic since... Anyway, I already told you he's a stand-up kind of guy. He paid me what he owed, and that is all I care about.
Hulot, you remember the guy who ran off the other night when I wanted to talk to him? Had you ever seen him in the Alembic before? That man is dangerous, Hulot. He's the prime suspect in this nasty murder business.
Should I know him? No. I do not know who it is. But he did not seem too keen on meeting you.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, Hulot, you were the last person to see Mallet before he disappeared the other night. You don't just run off like that for no reason. Believe me, Mallet has got something serious on his conscience. Maybe he's mixed up in this murder.
I will not say another word about Mallet, but I am sure of one thing. He is not a killer.
But that doesn't explain why Mallet ran off. There must be some reason. It can't be me, or he'd have run away as soon as I arrived.
Macpherson, leave Malay alone. I saw his face when he ran out the back door. It was not guilt that made him run away. It was fear.
I don't mean to go on, but it was very strange of Malay to run off like that. It really sets you thinking. In fact, I'm thinking about talking to the police about him. Him and his circle of friends.
The guy who ran off seemed much more guilty. Maybe it has something to do with politics. He had a foreign look about him, this chap with his mustache. Try finding him.
What do you know about my investigation, Albert?
Strangely, no one has said a word. Nobody cares, except your client, I imagine. The press has hardly mentioned it. Even the police have not really investigated with much conviction.
This murder has not hit the headlines. But you must know a bit more about it than you're letting on, Hulot. American tourists killed in their hotel room without so much as a clue? No papers, nothing? Have you got any leads?
All that I know comes from the papers, and that's all I want to know. As far as I am concerned, the matter is closed. Basta così.
I won't bother you any longer, Hulot. But make sure I can still reach you. I may need you sometime soon.
Goodbye, Macpherson. Be careful. Macpherson? Here again? You've got back your taste for life?
So there's the job done, quick as you like. Take your paintings back, Hulot. I've finished. Better check in case I've missed out any details.
Great! The private eye returns.
I have some fabulous new information on the Orphée case. A portrait of the killer. Here, look.
My God, I do not believe it. Let me warn Inspector Lebrun immediately.
Do you recognize him? Wait, do you know who he is? You.
Eloin? Jacques Eloin? It's impossible.
Eloin. The name rings a bell. If only I could see that vision again. Control that vision. If only...
The inspector would like to see you immediately.
Come in, dear sir, come in. Mr. Macpherson, I presume, would be private detective? I have no time to waste with snoops. What do you know about the White case?
I don't have time to waste either, Inspector. I've got some news on the White case.
I am listening, Macpherson. Go on, fire away.
I have a portrait of a suspect who may very well be the guilty party.
Where is this portrait from, Macpherson?
What if I am mistaken? What if this man is not the suspect? Give me more details about the case, and I'll tell you what I know.
McPherson, you are not really in a position to make deals, huh?
Before I showed up, your suspect had no face, Inspector Lebrun.
Okay, McPherson. Say I do know him. Does that get you any further ahead?
The portrait. You say you know who it looks like. That means he's a known criminal. He has a record. Who is it?
Jacques Elouin. He's a private eye, an ex-cop. He lives in the 11th district, and he is in big trouble.
The White case. Why don't you give me more information? The public could help you, and you could use this portrait to officially issue a description of a wanted person.
You are very naive, Mr. McPherson. This man is incredibly dangerous. Our specialist, Dr. Koffner, has informed us that the ritualistic nature of this murder could provoke severe psychosis in the mind of the public. Like in London at the turn of the century.
He's killed again? Who's dead?
Theo Mallet, the former doorman at the Orphée. Do you know him, Mr. McPherson?
I talked to him last night. It was he, Mallet. Mallet fled as I was showing him the portrait of the suspect.
What you are telling me only serves to prove his guilt. Now you have what you want. Make yourself scarce. I need to think. Goodbye, McPherson.
Locked, obviously. What else did I expect? Looks like there's nobody in there. I need to find a way to take a look around. Letter of appointment. Signed Grégoire Dalpin.
But who are you? What do you want?
My name is McPherson. I expected to find Jacques Elouin here. Do you know where he is?
My son is away. He's not here. Why do you want to see him?
Madame, Elouin is wanted by the police for murder.
Liar! I do not believe you. Jacques is not a criminal. Get out! He's not here. Scram!
Any idea where he may be hiding?
hiding. I swear he's not here. Why would he hide? I've not seen him for several days. I have no idea where he is.
You're lying, Madame Elouin. Tell me where I can find your son. I mean him no harm. On the contrary, I need to talk to him.
You do not want to harm him. Can I trust you? Please understand, Elouin has not done anything. He's afraid, that's all. He's not hiding, but he needs help. My son is up there. Follow me. He's upstairs. Just go on up.
Right. Jacques Elouin, I'm arresting you for the murder of Regis and Ruby White.
I'm innocent. I may have led the murderer to the Eatons, but I did not kill them.
The Eatons? What are you talking about?
It's a long story, but this is what happened. It was after a rather tiresome case. A story of adultery that ended badly. The husband had hired me because his wife had supposedly run off with the money. She told quite another story, of course. I will spare you the details. I came home shattered. During my absence, a certain De Alpin had come by about some employees who had swindled him. I knew that De Alpin was a banker and that there would be plenty of money in it, but I was dead on my feet. So I told my mother to call him back and tell him to get lost. That's when she showed me the check. So, off I went again.
Those dirty kids, they roll around in the mud all day. And who scrubs? Old Muggins here. Who are you? Can't you see I'm not here? If it's for the poor, I gave at the office.
Lovely day, isn't it? Say, can you give me the Eaton's room number?
The Eatons? What do you want from the Eatons? Are you a friend of theirs? You don't look the sort they would associate with.
You're the janitor? My name is Jacques Elouin. I'm a friend of the family. They're not often in Paris, so I thought I would pay them a visit.
It really is too much. They spend a month here and wham! Suddenly all the Parisian riffraff turns up. Your Eatons are not here.
It's a shame they're not in. What time are they expected back? I really need to speak to them. What if I wait for them? Is that okay with you?
Wait for them? I've been waiting for 3 days now. They did not pay me for their room.
I'm sure we can figure something out for the room. Let me see it, and I'll pay the bill.
Are you trying to tell me how to do my janitor's job? Nobody's going up to that room while their belongings are still there. What kind of a pickle would I be in if they'd just gone away to the country for a week? These bloody rascals really want to drive me up the wall. I have a floor to scrub, so you with the mustache, clear off or I'll chuck you out on your ear. Little rascals, wait till I catch you. Hey, not my flowers, my beautiful flowers. Wait! They're going to see what I'm made of.
Strange. Yeah. Oh dear, what a mess. Mrs. Evelyn, you've got some cleaning to do. A locked safe. They probably got the key with them. A boat ticket.
You were not announced, sir. I wasn't expecting you. How can I help you?
Hello, Doctor. Jacques Eloin, private detective. Sorry, I am out of business cards. You'll have to take my word for it. That way we'll both be in the same boat.
A private eye. I am sure you are well aware I am not at liberty to discuss one of my patients. Doctor-patient confidentiality.
Actually, I'm not interested in your patients, Doctor. On the other hand, you could be of great assistance.
Do you want a consultation, Mr. Eloin?
I found your business card at the home of someone who's not so innocent.
I have no control over who has one of my calling cards, Mr. Eloin. The proof? You yourself have one. And yet, I never gave it to you.
We're not just talking about reputations, Doctor. She stole from my client.
I know the nature of the misdeed committed by the Eatons, Mr. Eloin. It was I who introduced Gracie Eaton to your client.
Are you the kind gentleman who introduced Gracie Eaton to the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross?
Ah, the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Ruby Cross. As a good detective, you are right to be curious. You have some questions on our Brotherhood, Mr. Eloin? You would like to know why Gracie Eaton was invited?
I'm curious, but can you explain exactly what the Brotherhood does? I've always dreamt of belonging to a Brotherhood where I could talk amongst men.
The Brotherhood are very influential in Paris, all driven by the same desire to study life, the secrets of existence. None of that really interests you, Mr. Eloin.
You do little esoteric things. Magic, abracadabra, hocus pocus, pulling a rabbit from a hat.
You would have made a fine inquisitor, Mr. Eloin. If you do not understand the phenomenon, it must naturally be sorcery. But it's not decorum that makes a heretic.
What's Grégoire de Alpin's role in the Brotherhood? Is he one of the leaders? Is there even a leader? And you, what's your role exactly?
Let's say that Grégoire de Alpin's knowledge of some subjects is much older than my own. Listen, old chap. If you want to know where the Eatons are hiding, you have come to the wrong place. Yes, I introduced Gracie Eaton to the companions. Yes, she knew the Alpins. But as to how intimate they were, that is their business. All I can tell you is that if I knew where she and her brother were, you would not be here. So, do the job you are being paid to do, Mr. Eloin. Find the thieves, and let us get on with the rest. We each have our own role, do we not?
And the time he dressed up as an angel, and he did not have a string on his bow. Berenice.
Oh, sorry. Jacques Eloin. Perhaps you could help me.
Why not? Would you like a drink? Come on, don't be silly. I'm a modern girl. Come, have a seat. You've never been here. I would remember your face. I'm curious to know what brings you here.
Today must be my lucky day. In my job, I usually deal with punks, not cute dolls like you. I'm a detective. You happen to know a certain Paul Eaton?
The American? Paul Eaton? Yes, I know him. He's been filling our heads with his stories for the past month. He and the owner are mates.
Interesting story about Eaton. Is he onto something big? Did he give you any details? Mind you, with guys like him, you never know what to believe.
I'm fond of you, Snoop. You know how to go about things. I'm going to help you. Paul Eaton was in Paris for a contract. A scam that would make him rich. His wife was his accomplice. Then he got the jitters. He is hiding now. Hulot, the owner, definitely knows more. You'll have to see him about that. Only thing is, he's not too fond of private snoops.
Charming. Berenice, I can feel that, like me, you're dying to know where Paul Eaton and his wife are. What was Paul planning to do after his job? Any ideas?
The owner, Hulot, knows a thing or two. Paul only spoke English, and he never mentioned any names. He could not have known much. It's not because you drink like a fish that you know more. It was his other half who pulled the strings.
Berenice, do you believe this bank heist story? Eaton must surely have been planning something. He could not have just given up like a complete idiot. It must be a diversion. It smacks of a wild goose chase.
Charming and smart, that PI. Only he has it wrong. It was not the banker's money the Eatons were after. It was a treasure he had hidden in his place. The woman took care of seducing him. Paul was there to pick the fruit when it was ripe. He was completely manipulated, that poor Paul.
The owner, Hulot, is also your friend. Would you be kind enough to introduce us?
The owner's not here. He's just driven off. Actually, I think he had a rendezvous with Eaton.
Damn it, this is too much. I'm always one step behind. This time, I'll catch them before they slip away again.
It is simple, Jacques. The owner went dashing off. He mentioned a restaurant, getting back late. How would I know?
Ah, restaurant. How fitting. I was planning on inviting you. But a restaurant in Paris. It's like looking for a needle in the haystack. Any idea which one?
And why would I know? Eaton talked about going out to a chic restaurant with his wife, but he did not even know which one. It was Hulot who scribbled down the address before leaving.
Berenice. Pretty name. Your knight in shining armor left you alone in such a place? That's hardly one.
I'm old enough to look after myself, but thanks for the thought.
What about Paul? Is he coming here often? You know, if he starts bugging you, it would give me more reasons to nail him.
You know, Jacques, that Eaton smells like trouble. One day, he turns up from God knows where with his little British accent. After a few drink sessions with Hulot, the owner, he loses his accent. After that, he shows up here practically every day, more American than ever. Then wham! No more news.
Well, that's a shame. I was really hoping to find him there. To be honest, I went to his place before coming to the Alambic and like magic, they disappeared. So, I thought you might be able to help me.
We do not really know what Eaton is doing in Paris. In the beginning, he said he was with his sister, a student. After a few binges, his sister had become his wife, and they were both onto the scam of the century.
That's all you know, is it? In any case, someone as charming as you is always beyond suspicion.
Ciao, Snoop. Good luck.
Look, a notepad. The first page seems to have been ripped out in a hurry.
Hulot is implicated in this affair? But how?
Who knows? He's a fence, is he not?
I brought you a little snack.
Thank you. I'll just put it there. We'll help ourselves. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes, the restaurant.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Do you have a reservation?
I'm here to see some friends. 2 Americans, a couple. The Eatons. I hope I haven't missed them.
I do not see any reservation under that name. Maybe they have reserved a table in another establishment.
I'm sorry to insist, but I'm sure this couple knows your restaurant. A man and a woman. Americans. The woman has been here. Quite a looker. Goes by the name of Grace Eaton.
Now that you mention it, I think she came here. And she was with some guy or other. They even had a rather colorful exchange in English, and it was not all sweet nothings, I can tell you. But it's not the name you gave me. No, it was White, not Eaton.
I'm a private detective, hired by Grégoire de Alpin. I have to find them, and quickly. I'm fed up of chasing after them. Any idea what it could be? Got an address.
Sir, this is not my job to spy on people. It would seem to be yours, though. All that matters to me is that they enjoyed their meal and paid their bill. Actually, they put it on their account at the Hotel Orphée. A French gentleman joined them, and they chatted for a while before leaving together. I do not know what they want. I hope this is of some help to you, because you seem to be completely lost.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée.
How may I help you?
White. I've come to see the Whites. Which room might I find them in?
We do not give out such information, sir. Not without the prior agreement of our clients.
Come on. It's not as if I'm asking for the moon. I just want to know if the Whites are guests at your hotel.
I'm sorry, sir. I will not answer any questions regarding the Orphée's guests.
Ha, I had you going there for a minute. The Whites really are guests at your hotel.
Why? I never. I strongly advise you to leave this establishment before I call the authorities.
Hey, and while we're at it, any chance I can get their room number as well?
That is enough. I refuse to talk to you any further.
You're not the first guard dog I have encountered, but you're certainly the toughest. I'll let you think about it. Do not worry, though. I'll be back soon.
It is better that way, sir.
Okay, what do I do now? Now what?
If you want any leads about the Whites, wait for me at the Nazi. I will give you some.
This case is really beginning to get on my nerves.
Sit down. What do you want with the Whites?
You look like someone who might be able to slip me some info about the Whites.
We will see. How much will you pay?
Do not worry, it's my client who pays.
Ah, someone who gets things quickly. We're going to get along just fine. Now what do you want to know?
The Whites. Do you know who I'm talking about? Well, they're a couple. What's Mrs. White like? Is she hot?
Yes. A tall guy and a beautiful dame, both of them Americans. They're definitely a couple. Slept in the same bed, bathed in the same tub.
Ha! Never a dull moment, those Whites. Always leading the good life. That being said, I do not envy them. Cash can go to your head sometimes.
You can tell right away the Whites are not very classy people. No manners. They think they can get away with murder.
Will you give me their room number? I'm gonna pay them a little visit.
Room 507, but you are out of luck. They're not there. Must have kissed and made up. The dame has dyed her hair red. Look, I've got other things to do, you know. It's not like your money is going to a life of leisure. You ought to hire a private eye.
Mr. Delpa, your birds have returned. Even so, I would like to take a quick look. Room 507. Just a quick look. That's when I saw the most amazing thing in my life. I do not know if it was the smoke that blurred my vision, but one thing is for sure. That creature was not trying to keep them warm. And the damn creature saw me. I have fought in the war, you know, but I've never seen the likes of that. When its eyes stared at me, I ran. Yes, I fled like a little kid. There must have been something in the air because I fainted right after that. I came around later, near the Alambic. That's where you saw me. Mom? Is that you?
Ah, no. Jacques Alouin, I'm arresting you for the double murder of the Whites.
Believe me, I'm not the culprit. Speak to my mother. She'll give you the proof.
Well, thank you for your help.
What?
Yes, I had you followed, and you led us straight to the culprit.
No. Something is off. I've been tricked like a sucker. But by who?
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the Elysee 1528? I want to speak to Sophia Blake.
Right away, sir. Sophia Blake, who's speaking?
Miss Blake? This is Gus McPherson. Can we meet? I'd like to clarify a few points with you.
Meet me in an hour at the restaurant Chez Alexandre. We can talk there.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Can I do anything for you, sir?
A table has been booked under the name of Blake, Sophia Blake. I'm here to meet up with the lady. My name is Gus McPherson.
This way, please, sir. Miss Blake is waiting for you.
If you want to see me, Mr. McPherson, I imagine it's because you've made some headway.
Actually, several new occurrences have come to light. Occurrences that require an explanation from you, Miss Blake.
I don't understand, Mr. McPherson. What do you mean?
What I have learned totally contradicts what you said about the Whites. Who were they really?
Ruby White was my younger sister, and Regis White was her husband. I already told you, Mr. McPherson.
There's one small detail in all this that you failed to mention. The head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you, Miss Blake?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. McPherson. Should I?
I do not like to be taken for a fool, Miss Blake.
All right. I admit that I wasn't totally honest with you. What do you want to know?
Who, in your opinion, killed the Whites?
The Whites were criminals, Mr. McPherson. They made a foolish mistake. They're dead. Aside from their own carelessness, it can only be because of the man who is behind all of this, Grégoire de Alpin.
Do you think the killer will strike again?
He would do anything to achieve his aim, Mr. McPherson. Everyone who has crossed his path is in danger. The man is insane. He'll kill again. You must understand that you are the only one who can stop him. We have to put an end to this madness. The object must be found before other heads roll.
Ruby and Regis White never existed. Not as you described them anyway. Who were they really?
I don't have a sister, Mr. McPherson. Ruby White's real name was Faye Johnson, and Jerome Johnson was her real husband. I hired them, a terrible mistake on my part, but I'm not responsible for their death.
What were they doing in Paris?
I want the truth, Miss Blake.
They were supposed to retrieve the object that was stolen from me. Everything was planned in minute detail. They failed. Their death is a regrettable accident.
In the course of my investigations, I was told about a much coveted object, the head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you?
The object has been in my husband's family for generations, Mr. McPherson. I didn't lie to you. Grégoire de Alpin stole it from us. My husband, already weak from his illness, died of sorrow. I now want to retrieve what is rightfully mine and avenge the memory of the man I loved.
Then you recognize the existence of this man, Grégoire d'Alpin. Who is he really?
A madman, blinded by an obsession to possess a supposedly valuable relic. The head of Baphomet. By stealing it, he destroyed my life. De Alpin led my husband to his death, my family to ruin.
What exactly is the importance of this object, this head of Baphomet? And why is the Alpin so anxious to get hold of it?
I don't really know. My husband was very secretive about the value of the head of Baphomet. As for me, I simply want to retrieve what is rightfully mine. But de Alpin and his lot venerate the relic, surrounded with many legends. Legends of immortality. As you grow old, these legends suddenly become a source of hope, a source of life and death.
Why so many identities?
They were professional con artists, Mr. McPherson. As soon as they occupied their room at the Hotel Orphée, they became the Whites, a rich couple on vacation. It was also the signal that they had pulled it off. I was supposed to take delivery of the merchandise. Unfortunately, they were killed in the meantime.
Go and tell the police what you have told me. Inspector Lebrun will be glad to help you. He'll understand, I'm sure.
You still haven't understood. The police do not want a part of this. De Alpin has the Paris police in his pocket, Mr. McPherson. Paris is just a puppet on his string.
That is a tragic story, Miss Blake. Why didn't you tell me the truth from the outset?
I was alone in Paris, confronted by a fearless enemy. I had to act quickly and discreetly. If you had refused to help me, Mr. McPherson, I would have had no one else. I didn't want to be dishonest with you.
I agreed to work for you. I'll see the job through.
You see, we can reach an agreement, Mr. McPherson.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
When the Whites returned on the night of their death, did you notice if a car dropped them off? A smart car. I don't remember the make.
Who knows? I was here at the desk. Mallet was taking care of the door. Actually, he saw to all the doors. He was a doorman. One good reason why all the locks throughout the establishment ought to be changed. Mallet is no longer with us, and nobody knows what he has done with the master key. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
Sir?
The man you identified is called Helouin. Jacques Helouin. Can you confirm your statement?
Helouin? That's a funny name. And a private eye to boot. Now, I'm surprised. Quite a turnaround, isn't it? That is definitely why he came in here, no mistake. As for what happened to him afterwards, I have no way of knowing.
Did Mallet join him, or was it the other way around?
Yes, I remember now. He and Mallet had a quick chat, and it was definitely Mallet who met up with him. The man arrived a few moments before Mallet did.
What do you remember of their conversation?
I didn't hear anything. They spoke in low voices as if they were planning something. As for anything changing hands, I maintain that your man, Ilouin, didn't get a thing. He's the one who gave money to Mallet.
Mallet is dead.
Mallet is dead? That's awful. It's starting to be an epidemic. I can kiss the money the little scoundrel owed me goodbye. Never mind. May he rest in peace.
Did he owe you money?
Mallet has always been in debt. On the night of the murder, he slipped off without coming to see me. If he had any money on him, he hung on to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There, a scandal rag beneath the door. Well, the key is still in the lock on the other side. If I could push it out, maybe I could use it on this side. There we go. It's an engagement ring. How romantic. The engraving inside says, "To Faye with love." Who's Faye? Whew. Smells like ether, only stronger. And my head is spinning. Looks like black hair dye. Here it is, the right key. Pandora's secrets are all mine. I must get past these alleys. If anyone lays their hands on me, I certainly don't want to find myself in a cell. symbol of immortality, according to Mrs. Loiseau. Strange, I don't remember Helwine mentioning it. At the heart of the egg, the secret of the soul. A wax cylinder with the cycle of the phoenix by F. Koffner written on it. All we need now is a phonograph.
You are the detective, are you not?
With the arrest of Helwine, this case has taken a different turn, and I'm the only one who can save him from the guillotine. I have to shed light on 2 investigations at the same time.
It is time to decide who you trust, Mr. McPherson. I'm as eager as you to see the end of this nightmare.
You associate with the Parisian upper crust, Mrs. Loiseau. Can you tell me about Grégoire d'Alpin?
Grégoire de la Lepin is an extremely rich banker in Paris, the heir of an old family.
You're telling me stuff that everybody knows, Mrs. Loiseau. Give me something paranormal, something occult.
De la Lepin is a powerful man. He works in the shadows, fascinated by the Middle Ages. He is the founder of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross. Will that be enough, Mr. McPherson?
You probably know the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross.
An occult brotherhood. Beware. Its members are highly influential in every sector of Parisian life. That is what makes them so dangerous. Contrary to what they'd have you believe, their occult knowledge is rather limited.
So none of its members can aspire to true illumination, such as you attained, Mrs. Loiseau.
A brotherhood of puppets, manipulated by their supreme brother.
Does this Supreme Brother have such an influence over the members as to endanger my investigations?
I fear that his influence is becoming harmful. It is rumored that the Supreme Brother can comfortably manipulate everyone up to and including the Chief of Police himself.
Lurking in the shadows from the beginning of my investigation. Grégoire d'Alpin is the Supreme Brother. I'm right, am I not?
For a very long time, Grégoire de la Lepin was the Supreme Brother, Mr. McPherson. But he has now given way to another.
The job is open. The time is ripe to propose you as successor.
The heir took his place. Kay is the new Supreme Brother. And Kay is Dr. Frank Koffner, Mr. McPherson.
Mrs. Loiseau, you must know Dr. Koffner. He's a psychoanalyst. For all I know, you're even one of his patients.
Dr. Frank Koffner. Are you interested in psychoanalysis in particular, or just in the part it played in the White's case? He is also an influential member of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross. Did you know that?
I can see you knew him well. Do you know where I might meet him? Maybe he would pay you a visit.
At his cabinet, or else directly at the Brotherhood's headquarters. I imagine you know where that is?
None of this rhetoric will get us anywhere, Mrs. Loiseau. I have to act. If I need any advice from you, I'll know where to find you.
Our paths will cross again. I'm sure of it.
Did I realize how great an impact dealing with this man would have on me, on my career, on my own destiny? His soul has passed from body to body down through the centuries. The cycle of the phoenix. He is the phoenix, risen from the ashes. He has confided in me the secret of his power, of his riches, the head of Baphomet. I am very familiar with the myth. The Companion's library featured more than one legend on the subject. Grégoire des Alpins claims to have been in possession of the head since the Middle Ages. He acquired it on behalf of the Knights Templar and kept it after their dissolution. They dare to call my manifesto a scientific fairy tale. They think they're the leading experts in psychoanalysis. Vienna. I will prove my theory to them. I will prove that Grégoire des Alpins is immortal. Slowly but surely, my role in the Alpins' existence has grown in importance. Using hypnosis, I have managed to impose my will upon him, all the while espousing his ambitions. I shall be his successor as the head of the Companions. His power, his riches, the Baphomet, it will all be mine. I shall be his heir. The time has come. This evening, the Alpin wishes to see me at his manor. Gracie Eaton, his Adeline, will be there. Tonight, I shall become the greatest. Neither Vienna nor the Alpin can stop me now. The old fool is convinced that I'm ready to receive his soul. Ready to receive his riches, more like. And the influence that comes with them. Then Vienna shall pay for its insolence.
Mac, you disappear for ages, then turn up without warning. You must be after something.
Berenice, you're my little green fairy. With everything we've been through together, I know you'll always be here for me. You're the only person in Paris I can trust. So...
Still the same sense of humor. I see the Parisian air inspires you.
No, seriously. You're really the only person I can trust. I have one or two questions that I need you to answer.
Mac, you know full well I would not refuse you anything. Ask, I'll find you the answer.
Baby, those beautiful eyes of yours shortly saw a beautiful stranger. Especially an American. Do you remember a guy at the Alembic going by the name of Paul Eaton?
It's funny you mention it. Another detective came and asked me the same thing a few days ago. Good-looking bloke, that PI. Nice mustache. Yes, I remember Eaton. He was hanging out with the Alembic crowd last month.
Berenice, I think I'd better warn you. This Paul Eaton is mixed up in some dirty business. I just hope the boss, Albert, did not trust Eaton too much.
Paul, an old man who knew?
course they know each other. They even got really chummy.
Bernice, it's vital you tell me everything you know about Paul Eaton. And I warn you, everything he has told you is probably lies. I think his name is also a fake.
He was not very chatty, Polly boy. I must say, he did not speak French very well. All I got was that he was in Paris with his sister, who I never saw. He hinted once or twice that they were onto something big. Loads of cash, easy work. You know, Mac, now that I think of it, Paul Eaton was definitely the dodgy type.
Hulot, the boss? Is he there? Maybe he noticed some things that you missed, baby. You know, you might have been too busy staring at that tall, dark American to notice anything peculiar about him.
Albert is not here. I was supposed to meet him here this morning, but he's not come by today. You know, Mac, Albert Hulot has not changed. He is as weird as ever. If I see him, I will tell him you're looking for him.
Have you seen anything of Paul Eaton since?
No point getting all jealous, Mac. You're the only American in my heart. I've not seen Eaton here again. And as for Albert, the owner, I have no idea. I suspect Paul pulled off the scam of the century and fled to Borneo.
Bernice, do you remember the other night before you came round to my place? I had some complications. That guy who got away from me. Well, I caught up with him, but I need to know if you've seen him here before. Eloin. Jacques Eloin.
Yes, well, I think it was the same. He came asking questions a few days ago. I don't know.
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
Strange front door. An improved version of all the other locks I've come across so far.
If I can be of any assistance, sir?
Yes,
Visitors are not admitted, sir. Would you kindly leave?
You are mistaken.
I'm not just any old visitor. I've come to make inquiries. Inquiries about the occult.
Visitors are not admitted, sir. Would you kindly leave?
The knowledge stored here would be impossible to find anywhere else. Even the Sorbonne is but a pale shadow of your great learning.
Our library contains knowledge and secrets that cannot even be found at the Sorbonne. The Brotherhood, the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross, are the most erudite people in the Western world.
Does your sealed-off library include books on magic, Kabbalah, divination, tarot, lost civilizations, Mu, Hyperborea, Atlantis, the Holy Grail, and alchemy?
Sir, one must not joke with the occult arts. Alchemy, the great work.
How does one attain this great work? Must one first become a Supreme Brother before contemplating all of its power? Like your SBGDA? Your alchemist?
The great Ouroboros has spoken, sir. GDA is no more. The SBK is our supreme leader now.
You mean to say D'Alpin is no longer your Supreme Brother? Had his term of office ended, or was he deposed?
We are not in the Middle Ages now, sir. It is simply an inheritance by due succession.
What does the future hold for a former SB once he has stood down? What became of GDA?
GDA is the supreme light. His wisdom becomes accessible to all consciences. The great work has been done.
Could you be more explicit, Mr. Dumoulin? If what you say regarding your GDA means that he is no longer among us, that he is dead, then, my friend, you will have the courts to answer to.
Glory to the SBK.
You seem to know a little too much, Dumoulin. Be careful with your threats. I'm not here to bother you. I already have a suspect for these crimes. But from what you have told me, I could easily have you charged with being an accessory. At the very worst, you might be sent to the nut house.
What would the police do, eh? What would it gain? They will have to wait a long time for an order from the police chief. Leave before things get worse for you.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need a small favor. I have to infiltrate the Brotherhood, and I need a fake letter of introduction. Can you write me one using these documents?
No problem. Come by later, your letter will be ready. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is.
As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises. I see. The orders rooms are at your disposal.
real alchemy kit. All these flasks contain powders. What on earth does he do with them all?
But he couldn't stop me from joining the Templars. I have to try to cleanse myself of their sin of the flesh. Because of him and my mother, my soul may already be condemned to hell. Only the balm of the Templar's faith can rid it of the mortal sin engraved upon it. On October 9th, Saint Denis Day, I finally discovered the traces of the head. Blessed by Saint Denis, he who smiles down on me in all his beatitude to help me leave my soul. Yes, Saint Denis is smiling on me. The head purifies me. As God is my witness, I, Simon le Bel, in this year of our Lord, 1305, shall enter the body of Pierre le Bel de Clemency tomorrow, June 24th, and shall retrieve what is mine by divine right. In this new body, purified of my soul and of my parents' carnal sin, death will no longer hold any mystery for me. The head of Baphomet has finally revealed all of its secrets. Victory! I would shout this divine miracle from the rooftops if I did not fear the unbelievers and their stake. I am in a new, younger, stronger body, and it is God's will. How else can I explain Adeline's appearance at my bedside? Blessed and cursed. God gave me a new body, but Adeline, my angel, who took care of this new body, is forbidden to me. It would seem she is the daughter of that idiot, Pierre. That's to say, my own daughter at present. I am weary of this existence. What is the point of living for centuries if I can never again glimpse the smile of my beloved Adeline? Ah, Adeline, you who are forbidden to me, will I ever see your sweet face again? I would gladly exchange these solitary centuries to see your face, your eyes, once more. She has returned. She is once more of this world, and so close to me. She visited Koffner today. It really was her. That excellent doctor of the mind confirmed it. It is her, and this time she will be mine for the rest of my life.
Well, Miss Blake, it would seem you did not tell me everything. Right, that's all I needed. Blake's been abducted and the kidnapper takes himself for a Dialpe. And naturally he wants the head in exchange. As if I knew where it was.
McPherson. Max, something awful's happened. Hulot is dead. He's been murdered.
My God, Berenice. Why him? Why Hulot? When did this happen? And you, Bebe, are you okay?
The cops discovered his body at sunrise. but he may have been dead for a couple of days. I have no idea. No idea.
It's awful. Hulot was not supposed to die. He could not die. He was the last person to see the whites alive. The police. Did the police tell you how it happened?
I don't know how to describe it. It is so sordid. His head, Mac, his head was cut off. His body was hanging on the front of the car. And his head was sitting on the hood like a figurehead. Worst of all, in his mouth. The police found a coin in his mouth.
Berenice, Hulot is dead. We have to be careful, too. Was it the police who told you? They have a suspect. They're already holding Helouin.
The pigs? They're all the same. The investigation is taking its course, miss. Like hell. Everything I know I got from my contacts.
Berenice, we have to get to the bottom of this before everyone else dies. Do you know who is heading the inquiry?
Inspector Lebrun, always spotless, the perfect bourgeois. They're putting on an act in an attempt to hoodwink us. In fact, Mac, they haven't got anything to go on. Hulot, you, me, Helouin, for them we're all nobodies. It's up to us to unravel this.
Hulot dead, and the soul of the Alembic gone with him. We've all lost a great friend, Berenice. Keep your chin up, baby. Don't let them get you down. There's still the Alembic.
Hulot started from nothing. He worked as a construction worker on the metro before becoming a very important patron of the arts. You know, a big shot.
Hulot never did anything for nothing. If he did you a favor, you knew you would have to pay him back one way or another. He was a man of many resources. Money, tip-offs, favors. He always knew where to get them.
Mac, all that was Hulot. A real hub of the Parisian art scene. The paint never dried under his feet. There was something to suit everybody's taste.
But Berenice, doing those little favors could have sometimes made crooks out of us. Everyone knew Albert was a fence.
Hulot saw himself as the Robin Hood of the art world. He got money out of the rich for the art of the poor. He may have been a fence, but he had ideas.
Berenice, relationships like that only bring trouble, either with fences or with the police.
Of course, Mac. I worked for Hulot. We all have to live, you know. And sculpture doesn't exactly pay a girl's rent.
You say you've copied works of art for Hulot? Has he commissioned any work recently?
Strangely enough, yes. The day you came to the Alembic, the first time, I gave him a copy of a grotesque bust.
My God. Berenice, the bust. The bust you sculpted for Hulot. Did it look like what you see in the sketch?
It is exactly the same. Hulot asked me to make a copy. I gave it to him the night you came. Mac, I'm scared. What's going on?
It's awful. I have to find this head before there are any more deaths. Even your life is at risk, Berenice. The killer is after this head. Don't you see, baby? I have to find out how Hulot got his hands on this accursed object.
I have no idea who gave the head to Hulot. I made a copy, that's all.
I feel as bad as you do, Berenice. Anyone who comes to the Alembic will be grieving. The place will be a shrine to him. Everyone who comes in will be reminded of Albert Hulot. So many stories.
You know how much Hulot loved his entourage. Everybody had a chance. The Alembic was his masterpiece. Take this fresco, for example. You know how many artists contributed? Hulot would ask them to paint a bit, sometimes just a brushstroke. Over the years, it became his treasure.
It's true. That fresco is rather special. Did he tell you what it is meant to represent?
He used to sit and stare at the fresco at night. Honestly, Mac, it kept the secrets of his soul.
not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. But one thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I'll do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own.
Hulot, what was the secret you had hidden right under our noses all the time? Double locked. With a safe like this, it's hopeless without a key.
You again? Wasn't getting my son arrested enough for you?
I believe your son is innocent, but I need evidence so I can prove it.
Do you think so? My son left me the key to his office safe. Here, take it. You'll find what you're looking for in there.
Elwin's notes. They contain all the information he found during his investigation.
Mac, I don't know what to think anymore, Mac.
Berenice, there it is. You recognize your own handiwork? The heads of Baphomet, exact copies. Not even my expert eye can distinguish between the original and the fake.
Mac, what you see here is my life's work. It is really perfect. It is good work.
I'm not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. But one thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I'll do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own.
Ah, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
We'd been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
The Whites do not exist. I have their passports here. They are American citizens. They did not arrive in Paris a few days ago. They got here over a month ago. You want to know what name they used? Johnson, Inspector.
All right. Let's suppose they were using pseudonyms. Could you tell me why?
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims. I have in my possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
That does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things to my Ferry with love?
A letter. A letter signed Sophia Blake confirms that they were hired to commit a robbery. The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
They robbed Grégoire d'Alpin. The plan was orchestrated by the same woman who hired me, Sophia Blake. This is a major con trick, Inspector.
De Alpin? Grégoire de Alpin? The banker? McPherson, I assure you that a man as important as Grégoire de Alpin would have called on the police to solve this case. He has the means, believe me.
It's strange, but it's true. Doubtless d'Alpin preferred to sort this business out in the greatest secrecy. Just ask Hellouin. He's the one who investigated it.
I would have to check with Monsieur d'Alpin. I can't tell you more, McPherson.
If you have any doubts about d'Alpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
McPherson, Grégoire d'Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Stop protecting d'Alpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Here you are.
Thank you, McPherson.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Eloin's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
The murder weapon must be a knife of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, McPherson.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Gregoire d'Alpin's home.
Thank you, McPherson.
D'Alpin. D'Alpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. d'Alpin, I assure you heads will roll.
D'Alpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. d'Alpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Eloin's innocence, McPherson. Quite the contrary.
If d'Alpin has been dead for over a week, he couldn't have hired Eloin to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Eloin.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. McPherson.
One gold, one brass. One at d'Alpin's, the other at Koffner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Koffner to do with all this?
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple of anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
With this, you can start investigating the true motives behind the murders.
Thank you, McPherson.
I hope these clues will enable us to prove that Eloin is innocent.
I will speak with Eloin, and we shall see. If I understand correctly, the Whites were not the Whites, but the Eatons, who are in fact the Johnsons. A couple of professional con artists hired to retrieve a relic at the Alpins by Sophia Blake. Also your employer, Mr. McPherson. Yet according to this note, Sophia Blake is currently being held hostage by Mr. d'Alpin. Would it be the same d'Alpin we see dead in these photos? Do you understand anything?
It's just that...
That is to say that you and me are going to have a little chat to set this story straight from the beginning.
Lebrun, aren't you tired of making people believe this story? The evidence is there, on the table.
Sir, I advise you to go back to your paintbrushes and leave the authorities to do their job. Now, if you will excuse us...
May I retrieve my documents?
Consider these documents as facts, Mr. McPherson. And without facts, there is no proof.
Yes, and there's the proof of my innocence, Lebrun.
We shall see about that, Eloin. We shall see. Mr. McPherson, goodbye.
Poor Eloin. I did what I could for him. The only thing I've got left now is my conscience. Me, Blake, and my conscience.
Mr. McPherson, did you know that in Tarot, the hanged man is not put to death, but confronted by his destiny instead? arriving at his journey's end, he is able to see his life again from a new angle. Sometimes a man thinks of certain events again and discovers that he was tricked, betrayed.
McPherson! Help me, Gustav! Don't let him! He's insane!
This painful blow, this moment when our convictions, our beliefs, our passions are shattered. When you discover your life has been nothing but lies, trickery.
McPherson! Help me down! He'll kill me! He'll kill you! Like he killed all the others! He killed them all! That Koffner, he killed them!
Judged! All guilty of having tricked me, betrayed me, stolen from me. Just as you did Blake. And just as she tricked and betrayed you too, Mr. Macpherson. The Baphomet is mine. It has been mine for centuries. It is my immortality. Give me back the head, Macpherson, or she will be sentenced before the tribunal of God.
You've lost your mind, Koffner. You've been exposed. You are the killer. You're a monster.
I am the sole judge of my actions.
But this object has no power, Koffner. Not this object, not any object. There's never been any such magic. Trying to prove the contrary has made you lose your mind.
Ah! Become my successor, Macpherson. I will initiate you into the power of Baphomet.
I have no desire to succeed you, Dr. Koffner. What do you have to offer? This head? This Baphomet? I do not want it. It is yours. Take your treasure back. Right. You have the head now. Let her go.
Blundering idiot! Did you really think I would let you leave with my secret?
That was close.
Yes. I owe you one.
Never mind that. If it was not for you, I would still be rotting away in jail.
Come on. I'll buy you a drink at the Alembic.
It's not like me to turn down such an offer. And there's that cute girl that works there.
Be careful. People are not always what they seem.
Hey! Don't forget me!
No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
Is Koffner right? Was he really de Alpin?
What difference would it make? He's dead now. He might have been immortal. He's not any longer.
What some people will do for power.
Yes. There are people who would do anything for power and money. But not us.